Hello everybody. First of all, I'd like to apologize for wearing the sunglasses, but I'm filming in the evening and the sun's fairly low on the horizon and I can't see a thing without some sunglasses. But anyway, this is a follow-up video to the planting of these new strawberries that I put in last year. They're called Archer. They were a recent release from Cornell University, and it's said to be a fairly large, flavorful and sweet berry. And we had a rather rough year this year. I don't have as many berries on that I had hoped, but during the prime pollination time it was cold and very wet, and that will affect how much fruits that we have. And they are producing fairly large berries, and as you can see in this picture, some of the berries are as large as a large chicken egg. And I tasted them, and I guess if I counted as 10 on my scale of 1 to 10, the sweetest strawberry I ever tasted, which was in California about 2 or 3 years ago during the prime of their season, this would come in as about a 7. And our sweetest berry that I'm aware of here in Michigan that I've grown, and I've grown many different varieties, both in trials when I was an extension educator and here at home. Early Glow was my sweetest berry, and it would come in at about an 8 in a good year. The berries were a little soft, but I would expect that in a year where we've had so much rain. In the last month we probably had 8 inches of rain, and that would affect just about any berry. The berries, as I mentioned before, were a little soft, but I think that in a drier year they would be better. And I think in a warmer year, although we had some cooler periods, but then we had some very hot weather before the berries started to ripen. As a matter of fact, our season starts about the second week of June, and I'm already harvesting some berries a week earlier. So we had warm enough weather to get an earlier harvest, but the overall weather wasn't the best for growing strawberries like what you would see in California. So I'm going to continue growing this. I think it will be a really good berry. One of the things I would say about it is that it has a very strong strawberry flavor, which I found very appealing. There are a lot of berries that when you get them from the store, they're not quite ripe, and if you look at this picture, you'll see on the left the strawberry that I just harvested, which is the new variety I was just mentioning. I'm having a brain malfunction here. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it's completely red all the way through, and when a strawberry is ready, it should be red all the way through. At least most varieties will be, and it should be nice and shiny on the outside. And you'll see these berries on the left, which were bought from the store, they're not completely red. And one of the reasons for that is they can't afford to let them completely ripen on the plant, because when they're shipped from California to, say, Michigan, which is over a 2,000-mile trip, they wouldn't come through with very good condition. So this particular berry is one that I would continue to plant. I'm not all that impressed about large berries, but a lot of people are. My number one quality is flavor, and so that's what I have to say about this particular berry. Also, you'll notice that I have them under a couple of different barriers to keep the birds off. Our state bird is the robin here, and it loves strawberries, and I have kind of a love-hate relationship with those birds. But what I put on the plants is a fruit netting on one side, which the birds can't get to, but it has to be up high enough so that the birds can't peck through it and get to the berries. And the other one that I have right here below at my feet actually is metal hoops, and they have screen on them, which is not the metal kind, but the, I don't know if it's nylon or what it's made out of. But this particular covering will even keep off the spotted wing Drosophila, which I have a video on as to what that is. That is a fruit fly that lays eggs in the fruit, and later on in the season you'll actually have maggots in your strawberries, which is more of a problem with the later varieties than it is in the first strawberries of the season, at least in our area. So this screen will keep them out completely, but the problem that you have with the screen is that when it has flowers on it, the bees can't get to it to pollinate, so I will decrease my overall yield if I don't take this off. As I said, for the early berries it's not much of a problem, but if I was growing everbears or day neutral strawberries, which will produce on into the summer months, I certainly want to have either a chemical spray on to prevent the adults from laying their eggs, or I'd have to have some kind of barrier to keep the fruit flies from getting to it. and fruit flies are very small, so you need something the size of a window screen to screen them out. So you have some decisions to make there. Well, that's the update for today, and I'm on over to the fruit trees to see what's going on. Have a nice day, and I hope this video was helpful.